Welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Now Yuuji and Makina are doing something alone that he said was not for the typical adolescent girl.
朝ごはんを食べに戻ってきた時には2人ともいたんだけど、食べ終わったらまた2人してどこか行っちゃったのよね。どこ行ったんだろう。朝はいたのでしょ。ほんの数時間姿が見えないぐらいで大げさな。それに風見くんと一緒ならそれほど心配しなくてもいいのでは。まあそうなんだけどさ、なんか最近あの2人様子が変なのよね。変とはもっと具体的に。2人とも私に隠れてコソコソと何かをしてるっぽいんだけど、それが何なのか全然教えてくれないのよ。あなた仲間外れにされているの？そういう悲しいこと言わないでよ。ちょっと寂しいじゃない。イリスさんの動向が知りたいなら彼女の日記を読めばいいじゃない。学園長に提出する日記、今でも毎日書いているのでしょ。読んだわよ。読んだけどさ。ねえ榊さん、あなたモギタンって知ってる？モギタン？いいえ、聞いたこともないけれど、イリスさんの日記にはなんて？なんかね、今日はパパと一緒にモギタンで遊んだ、楽しかったのよって書いてあった。モギタン、何やら言葉の響きだけで想像すると子供向け番組か何かのキャラクターのようにも思えるけれど、私もなんかそんなんだと思うんだけどね。マキナの日記にもなんかピンク色したアリクイだかカバだかよくわかんない動物っぽい絵が描いてあったし。あまりおかしな風に考えない方がいいのではなくて、別に悪いことをしている様子もないのでしょ。それはまあそうなんだけれど、私に内緒でってのが少し気になるのよね。なんか変なことしてたりしないかな。変なことって？いや、なんかこう硬い棒で濡れた穴をつつくような遊び？あなた何を言っているの？確かに風見くんの言動には異常な部分もあるけれど、彼は意外と誠実よ。もう少し彼を信用してあげても。
Trade 10. I don't know what trade 10 is either.
あって何？榊さん、何か思い当たることがあるの？全然関係ないのかもしれないけれど、風見くん、この前私のところへ来てパソコンを使ってネットで何かおもちゃを注文していたわ。おもちゃ？抜け目なく履歴をクリアされちゃったから何を買ったのかまではわからないけれど、大手のホビーショップのサイトを見ていたからきっと何かおもちゃを買ったのね。そういえば昨日ユージのところに着払いで荷物が届いてたっけ？あの時の伝票まだゴミ箱の中にあったかな。イリスさんが心配なのはわかるけれど、他人の個人的な趣味に介入するのはあまり感心しないわね。だって気になるじゃない。まあ気持ちはわかるけれど。お腹空いたのよさ。
噂をすれば二人とも帰ってきたじゃない。あれこれ悩むより本人たちに直接聞いたの？
教えてくれるかしら。
そこまでは私も責任持てないわ。頑張ってスオンさん。
あんたの注文通りお昼はカレーにしたわよ。エビフライもちゃんと揚げたから美味しいぞ。マキナ、なんかあんた泥だらけっていうか、あんた怪我してない？
まあな、パパに硬い棒でつっつかれたりしたしな。そらちょっと血ぐらい出るのよ。
ユージ、ちょっとユージ。
Yes, no need to bell, woman. People might get the idea you're prone to hysterical overreaction. So what exactly did they do?
ちょっとマキナ怪我してるじゃない。あんた何やってんのよ。
Yeah, she did get a few bumps and scrapes out there. Nothing a stiff upper lip can't fix.
治るわけないでしょ。何したのよ。
ママ姉は大げさなのよさ。子供なんだからちょっとはしゃいで転べば怪我ぐらいするのよ。
年齢的にはもう子供じゃないでしょうが。
Well, I'll admit I could have been a little more careful, but try to think of injuries like this as within the normal range of variation.
あまり温室育ちにするのも確かに良くないけど、破傷風とか敗血症になったら大変でしょ。
I did ever wash them out with tap water, but you're right, disinfection's important too. Sorry about that. "66 years have passed since the end of the war, but its impact still lingers." It's said that those who lived through those painful years are often overprotective toward their grandchildren. Many older Japanese endured miserable food shortages in their childhood. Many watched wounded friends die for lack of basic treatment. Spurred by a fierce desire to protect their descendants from such misery, they sneak perfectly well-fed little boys and girls extra treats on top of their school lunches, ultimately leaving them plump and spoiled. I can't let him go hungry. I can't let some trivial scrape end up killing her. The sentiment's understandable, but the more you protect a human being, the weaker they become. As an ambitious commissioned officer observed after returning alive from the south, sometimes the blight of winter is pleasant in its own way. Who is that? And by the same token, occasionally experiencing the harshness of the world can teach us compassion, help us find real strength. The girl's been working part-time and training with me lately, so it makes sense she'd work up an appetite. Pushing our body spurs the appetite. At my previous school, even I used to supplement the 3 meals a day we got in the dorm using my own money. And among my classmates, there were guys who wolfed down 3 huge Swiss rolls from the convenience store and call it a light snack. But seriously, even the curry has pumpkin in it?
だから言ったでしょが、かぼちゃにはビタミンが豊富なのよ。炭水化物を効率的にエネルギーに変えるにはビタミン B1 が必須でしょ。
True enough, your nutritional wisdom continues to impress me, Amane.
でしょ私が食事管理しているおかげで最近のマキナ少し下っ腹が引っ込んだのよ。
Don't be ridiculous. It's clear there's all the strength training we started recently. Oh, now they're arguing who's doing more for her.
運動嫌いなマキナが
I've devised a routine that isn't too onerous. She's mostly just repeating a few sets of static exercises that effectively work the muscles in a fairly short period of time.
なんだか知らないけど私に隠れてこそこそと何やってんのかと思えばそんなことしてたんだ。
Our main focus has been on strengthening the inner muscles, but we're gradually moving toward toughening the outer ones as well. That's probably why she's looking a little slimmer around the waist.
トレーニングはいいんだけどさ、なんか最近ユージと一緒に外で遊ぶようになってからマキナの生傷が絶えないのよね。
Kinda makes sense with that, though.
あんたたち、一体何して遊んでんのよ。
Kind of difficult to summarize, actually.
なんかね、木登りしたり地面の上を這い回ったり馬跳びみたいなことしたりかくれんぼしたりなんか棒切れ振り回してみたりそんなことして遊んでいるのよ。
何それ、なんか男の子のやりそうな遊びばっかり。
楽しいぞ。午後もパパと遊んでもらう約束してんのよさ。アマネもやる？
いや、私はいいわよ。さすがにこの年になってクソ暑い中ドロンコ遊びする気にはならないわ。
そうかい？そいつは残念な。ごちそうさまでした。
ちょっとマキナ、あんたもう食べ終わったの？
はい、美味しかった。さあパパ、遊び行こうぜ。
待ちなさいって。その前にお風呂入って着替えてから行きなさいよ。
どうせすぐ汚れるのに。
いいからお風呂に入りなさい。汗臭いとパパに嫌われるわよ。
ほんじゃパパ、一緒に入る？
パパは私と少しお話があります。あんたは一人で入ってきなさい。いい？
What's all this then? She went out of her way to drive off Makina before starting the conversation, which would mean, well, she's probably angry.
さて、ユージはん、ちょいとお時間よろしおすか？
Why the Kyoto dialect?
どうでもよろし。ほな、そこにお座りやす。
I'm already sitting, actually. From the tone of her voice, I'm guessing she might be asking me to sit on my heels. As a precautionary measure, I straighten my posture. Sorry, what's that supposed to mean? Can you at least tell me what we're talking about?
私に隠れて何をしているの？正直に話せば怒らないわよ。
I'm not particularly hiding anything from you. It's just the usual Army Rangers game.
本当に？なんか変な遊びしてたりしないでしょうね。
What's this funny game supposed to be? No need to worry, we haven't done anything dangerous like grappling yet.
今、まだって言った？
Look, I'm being very cautious about her safety.
まあね、あんたが来る前のマキナはお人形相手にずっと一人で遊んでるような子だったし、それに比べれば体を使って遊ぶのは悪いことじゃないと思うけど、怪我だけには気をつけてよ。
Yeah, understood.
それとあんた、マキナになんか変なおもちゃ買ってあげたでしょ。
What are you talking about?
しらばっくれてもネタは上がってんのよ。榊さんのパソコン借りてネット通販でなんか買ったでしょ。これを見なさい。
Amani throws out a small slip of paper in vaguely accusatory fashion, with a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I recognize the receipt the delivery man left on my bubble wrap package the other day.
これ、そこのゴミ箱から出てきたんだけど、8万円も出して何買ったのよ。
Right, I thought Makina could use an MT violin, so...
嘘つきなさいよ。なんでバイオリンがあんな大きいケースに入ってるのよ。
You saw the case?
見たけど、鍵がかかってて開かないのよ。あれって中身は何なの？
How can I explain this? I guess you could call it an educational toy Makina needs to develop her talents. Anyway, it's nothing too weird. You don't need to worry about it.
怪しい。物は何なのよ。
I'm not going to tell you that.
教えられないようなものなの？
It's not anything I need to keep secret, and there aren't any legal issues either. I just don't think you'd understand right now. That's the only reason I'm not telling you. Until Makina's talent really flowers, to the point where I decide the girl should actually pursue this going forward, I'm not going to let you interfere. Even if you catch on, I'd appreciate it if you pretended otherwise.
一つ聞くけど、危ないことじゃないのね。
I'll guarantee that much.
じゃあいいわ。分かった。何も言わない。その代わり、怪我だけには気をつけてよ。
Understood.
あ、そうそう。それともう一つ聞きたいことが。
Which is...
これ見て。
What's this?
マキナの日記帳なんだけど、これにね、今日はパパと一緒にモギタンで遊んだって書いてあったんだけど、モギタンって何？
It's, well, you know...
絵を見ると、なんかピンク色した謎の小動物が書いてあるんだけど、これがモギタン
？That's... I can't tell her Triton is Makina's abbreviation for training tanto. That's just not an option. Training tanto, as you might guess, is just a mock short sword without an edge, helps you practice one of the most indispensable jungle warfare skills without risk of disembowelment. I've been teaching Makina bare-handed grappling techniques for a while now, and lately she started to get a decent feel for the basics. Figuring it was time to add a little variety, I brought out the training tantos as an introduction to Jukendo, a required subject in my line of work.
それとさ、ここにやがて来るサバイバル、文明が崩壊し、国土の大半がジャングルと化した日本で生き残るのに必須なのが模擬タン訓練なのよって書いてあるんだけど、どういう意味
？Cold sweat slowly trickles down from my armpits. Come on, Amane, you haven't heard of Trayton from that kid's show on satellite TV? He's ridiculously popular these days.
そうなの？聞いたことないけど、本当に？
Of course, you know. Hey ho, it's me, Trayton. Listen up, boys and girls, when you're setting up your pitfall traps, don't forget to smear rotten poop on the tips of your bamboo spears. Ring any bells now? Pretty famous line.
知らないわよ。っていうか、腐ったクソ？
In other words, Trayton is reminding the boys and girls in front of their TV sets that wars are won through a steady accumulation of minor harassments. The little guy knows his stuff.
何よそれ？紛争地の少年ゲリラ向けの子供番組？
Well, my attempt to avoid Amane's wrath through spontaneous babble seems to have backfired somewhat. You may have noticed by now, but I'm really not much of a liar. In any case, don't worry about Makina. I'll personally raise her into a splendid lady capable of returning alive from any hellhole we drop her into.
So 言うなら、どこへ出しても恥ずかしくない立派なレディーでしょ？放り出してどうするのよ？
Well, anyway, that's how it is. When you're...
ほら、ユージ！話はまだ終わってないわよ。まったくもう、それにしても何を買ったのかしら。
Honestly, it's not like we're doing anything to be ashamed of. Given enough patient explanation on my part, I'm sure Amane would understand eventually. But where possible, it's best not to advertise this sort of skill. For one thing, the value of a trump card is inversely proportionate to the number of people who are aware of its existence. And while our current pursuit may have gained tentative social sanction as a kind of sport, it's still strongly evocative of lethal weaponry. We have a serious image problem to overcome. Sort of like motorcycles in that respect, there's this nagging, prejudiced assumption that a young person who gets one of these is going to end up using it for evil purposes. For that exact reason, I think it's necessary to demonstrate that Makina understands the rules and can follow them responsibly. If the girl really knows what she's doing, we'll have a much easier time convincing Amane. Carefully cradling the long, heavy case we'll be using this afternoon, I wait for Makina to finish her bath. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Makina, a word. It seems Amana has started to notice our secret games. From now on, let's play a little more stealthily.
なんで隠れるの？
You're really clueless, aren't you? Listen up, Makina. Playing is inherently more fun when you're doing it behind Mommy's back.
おー、なるほど。なんか全然理由になってないけど、すげえ説得力な。
Alright then, we'll begin where we left off this morning. I will now present you with your rifle. Lowering the hefty aluminum case to the ground, I begin rolling the dials on the combination lock. 9029. The lock clicks open as I slide the last digit into place. Couldn't forget this number even if I wanted to. I swing open the lid of the case, revealing a bed of foam with a number of cutout spaces keeping various components safely in place. The barrel, the action, the magazine. Back to Yuuji teaching Makina how to use a gun. An olive drive stock, and last but not least, a telescopic sight that set me back a good bit more than the body of the rifle itself. Pulling these out of the case, I quickly snap the rifle together, leaving only the magazine unattached. Taking the weapon carefully in both hands, I stand before Makina and read out the number etched on the right-hand side of the barrel. Your rifle, serial number 112035. I forcefully thrust out the rifle toward Makina's chest, and she receives it with similar vigor, repeating the serial number. This little ritual helps grind it into the thick heads of new recruits that the rifle is an irreplaceable partner, while simultaneously encouraging a healthy sense of tension. You remember the dry firing practice we did this morning?
エレベーションノブの上に置いたパチンコ玉を落とさないように引き金を引くやつ?
Right, that one.
あれってすんげえ腕がだるくなるのよ。
I'm aware. Back in the old days, I had to do that until my arms were about ready to fall off. Got up to 2 separate pinballs eventually. It's another form of isometrics, you know. Need strong muscles or your barrel ends up shaking. It's not much of a factor with an air rifle like this, but when you're shooting with a real gun and live ammunition, your body tends to unconsciously brace itself against the noise and recoil, and you end up pulling the trigger much harder than you intended, sometimes badly throwing off your aim. The exercise in question is aimed specifically at preventing that problem. Alright, this time we'll start with plinking. You're free to fire at the paper target I set up 25 meters ahead of our position. Start off by zeroing the rifle. In other words, fire test rounds and adjust your scope based on the impact. We did it this morning as well, remember? But once you've detached the sight, there's always going to be a slight shift the next time you put it back on. Also, even changes in the temperature and atmospheric humidity can shift the point of impact by a few centimeters. When you have the chance, zeroing should always be your first order of business. Good. I'll now provision your ammo. For now, you'll be using 6mm .2 biodegradable pellets, 9 rounds in total. Use the first 3 to adjust your scope, the next 3 to aim for the center, and the last 3 to confirm the shot. Also, you're going to be shooting with the bipod in a fully prone position.
せっかくお風呂入って着替えたのにまた泥んこなの？
Not to worry, I brought a mat this time. I had rolled a foam mat I've been carrying behind the rifle case on the ground, then add a self-inflating air mattress on top, flipping open the intake valve. See? A bit more comfortable than the ground, and your clothes won't get dirty.
ああ、用意がいいのよさ。
Not sure if this is much of a bonus, but I also brought along some camo knitting I ordered online. With all this, we could pull off a full-scale ambush if we wanted to.
そうも。ああ、ギリースーツな。ゲームの中でクソゲリ兵がこんなの見てたのよ。すげえ、かっこいい。これ本物？
It's a replica made for outdoor sports, but this one's pretty well made. You can drape it over your head, wrap it around the rifle, or both. A truly helpful purchase. I couldn't help buying one for myself while I was at it.
いいね、いいね。なんかこういうのワクワクしてくるのよ。
Camouflage is extremely useful stuff. If you use local vegetation to obscure the outline of your body, even pros will have a hard time spotting you. The trick is to be careful when you're knotting the leaves together. Make sure none of them get flipped around, and don't use so much that it seems unnatural. You really do love this stuff, don't you? Surprisingly enough, Makina has displayed a fierce interest in rifles, probably developed an interest through bits of trivia she picked up from those video games of hers. According to the testimony of Komine Sache, her primary point favorite, Makina-chan absolutely adores those bang-bang shoot-em-up FPS games. She always shrieks, "Die! Die!" and cackles with joy as she plays. Distressed by this apparent manifestation of the virtual generation's much-discussed tendency to trivialize the taking of human life, I pondered the situation at some length. Ultimately deciding that rather than ducking the issue entirely, my duty was to teach the girl just how serious pulling a trigger really is. Having reached that conclusion, I went all out and ordered her a realistic air rifle. Just as with the bicycle, my broader goal is to raise her into a responsible person. One who treats any tool possessing the ability to cause harm with the wary respect it deserves.
Papa.
What's up? Oh. Oh, look at her. Tough it out. 80% of a sniper's job is enduring discomfort. Let's begin with one shot at that paper target. Stand by. After exhaling 8/10 of the air in her lungs, Makina stops breathing altogether, holding her aim steady. I let 4 seconds tick by, then quietly issue the order she's waiting for. Fire! As soon as the words leave my mouth, there's the soft sound of an ideally muffed shot, and a round white pellet 6mm in diameter flashes past my spotter scope. Maybe a second or two after Makina pulled the trigger, the BB impacts on the edge of the paper target. Correction. Up 1 click, left 2 clicks.
アップ1、レフト2、クリア。
Second shot, prepare to fire.
射撃用意、よーし。
Fire! They put in Call of Duty in this visual level. The pellet launched into a powerful max beam on the rifle's hollow system, traces a lazy parabola through the air, and strikes the target. Another miss. The wind is stronger than I thought. Let's try changing ammunition. The .25 pellets will probably do better. Remove your magazine, pull back the bolt, and stick your finger into the chamber to make sure it's empty.
指入んないでね。
That visual confirmation is fine. Peer into the bore from the side of the port. If you see light, we're fine.
チェンバー内、残弾なし。
Alright then, we're switching to .25 gram biodegradable pellets. Install magazine.
弾倉装着よーし。
Send the first round into the chamber.
手段装填よーし。
This time, we're going to change our target based on the direction of the wind. Look to the right and up slightly on that bench. Your target is a cup filled with clear blue water. If you make the shot, it'll start squirting out all over the place. Good stuff, right?
うっす、絶対ぶち当てる。
Prepare to fire.
射撃用意よーし。
Fire. The BB hops out of the barrel like a stung cat, slapping cleanly into the paper cup 25 meters away. Yes. Hit! Well done! Fire 3 more. You already confirmed the shot.
了解。3発連続の。あれ？
What's wrong?
班長、レンジ内に人が。
Say what? Quickly swing my spotter scope to the right. Sure enough, Sakaki Yumiko is standing a few meters away from the bench with a paperback clutched tightly to her chest, staring at the paper cup with a terrified expression. Sakaki, darn.
もう手に持ってるのよさ。ストレージに座って午後の読書とされ込もうとしていたら、突然紙コップが青い水を流し始めたからビビってんのよ
Makina, we're supposed to suspending practice for the moment. Safety on.
了解。安全装置よーし。
After confirming that Makina's engaged the safety properly, I double check to make sure the bolt handle and trigger are firmly locked. Then pick up the transistor megaphone, lying at my side, bring it to my mouth, and hold down the switch. Hey, Sakaki! What the heck do you think you're doing out there, woman?
ユミちゃん泣きそうな顔してキョロキョロしてる。
Well, from Sakaki's perspective, she was just innocently trying to read a book in the shade when a nearby cub abruptly sprung a leak. And just as she was cringing in surprise at the mysterious phenomenon, a disembodied voice started bellowing angrily at her from the bushes. I suppose bursting into tears wouldn't be that unreasonable a reaction. What? No. No, I'm going to go talk to Sakaki for a minute, alright? You're on standby here. Absolutely no firing until I give the go-ahead. You got that? Why would you think you could do that? Lifting myself up off the air mattress and flew off my camouflage net. I push out of the bushes and approach our stupefied interloper with a slow but powerful gait. Hey there, Sakaki! Tell me, what is your major malfunction? Did you miss the red flags? Please explain why you wandered onto the range in the middle of a shooting session. Right now, I'm leaning toward you being an idiot. Buffeted by my best veteran drill sergeant roar, Sakaki flinches, stiffening into a defensive posture. Are you blind, woman? I jab out an index finger toward the gateposts that mark the entrance to the courtyard, where two conspicuous red flags are gently flapping in the afternoon breeze. When the red flags are up, it means you keep out, and even outside the perimeter, sudden actions that might lead to an accident are forbidden. Just how clueless are you? Like I said, shooting practice. Do yours not work either? Before I can respond, Makina's voice rings out through my earphone. The samurai's right arm? I glance at the paperback in Sakaki's hand. It does in fact bear that title. Looking over my shoulder toward Makina's position, the distance between us seems to be a good 30 meters. She seriously read these tiny letters from over there. The scope's good, but it's not that good. Incidentally, Sakaki, Makina wants to know if you'll lend her that book when you finish reading it. Yeah, she's in the bushes over there. Can you see her? Can't make her out, huh? I guess that's hardly surprising. I know exactly where the girl is, but it's still a struggle to pick her out. Very solid bit of camouflage work, if I do say so myself. Of course I went to her first. I'm planning to apply for the establishment of an official club eventually. An air rifle club. You seem a little nonplussed, my friend. In that case, let me provide you with a first-hand demonstration. Let's drop back a bit, alright? I want 20 meters minimum between you and that target. Won't take long. Come on. After confirming that Sakaki's withdrawn behind me, I thumbed the two-way radio PTT switch on my waist. Makina, release the safety. You have permission to fire. No, I'll designate your target. Aim for the first cut from the left. Alright, I'll issue your timing from here. Okay, Sakaki, watch that cut 20 meters ahead of us. I I pass Sakaki a pair of binoculars, point out the cup in question, and once again hold down the PTT button for my wireless. Ready, and fire! Maybe 2 seconds after my order, a low-pitched report rings out nearby. A second later, the pellet strikes home, dead center on the leftmost cup. Hit! Well done, Makina!
今のイリスさんが
That's right. Pretty decent skills, don't you think?
というかどこから撃ったの
What? We're practically on top of her and you still haven't noticed?
え近くにいるの
Alright, Makina, that's enough for now. Remove the magazine, confirm the chamber is empty, engage the safety, and take off your camouflage.
了解。
A few seconds after the end of the transmission, as Sagaki looks around the area nervously, a clump of bushes 2 or 3 meters behind us. Rustling noisily, Makina slowly gets to her feet, still cloaked in her ghillie suit. Calm yourself, Sakaki. Makina, lose the camo and get that paint off.
ちょっと待ってね。
The girl throws off her camouflage net, then retrieves a wet wipe from the pouch around her waist and begins to vigorously scrub at her face.
お待たせなのよ。
イギリスさんあなた一体何を
だから射撃訓練だっつってんだろ。どうよ、ビビった？
そりゃ背後で急に草の塊が起き上がったら誰だって驚くわよ。
もうそうじゃなくてな。射撃の腕に驚いてほしかったんだけどな。
あ、ええ、それはもちろん驚いたけれど。なるほど。先日私のパソコンを使って買ったのはこれなのね。
Yes. Oh, yeah.
最近のおもちゃってすごいのね。こんな距離であんなに小さな的に当てるなんて。
I won't deny that the gun performs well, but that was a 25-meter outdoor shot, you know? If you're going to praise anything, it should be Makina's skills.
そうだぞ。私は褒めると伸びる子だって地図も言ってたぞ。
と言われても私にはどれほどのことなのか今一つピンとこないのだけれど。
In that case, want to give it a shot yourself?
そうだそうだ。ユミちゃんも自分でやってみりゃどんだけ難しいかわかるのよ。
誘っていただけるのも嬉しいけれど私は泥まみれになるのがごめんだわ。どちらかといえば椅子に座って紅茶でも飲みながらチェスでも指す方が好きかしら。
相変わらずのインドア派なのにね。そんなこと言ってったら不死身だって言われんのよ。
Hmm.
イリスさん、その私のことをドジミだと言っているのってどなたなのかしら。
強いて言うなら主に私。
あらそうなの。やだわ、こんなに力強く自白する犯人なんて私初めて見たかしら。もう言わない。
Makina stuff. Come now, Sakaki. The girl's demonstrated remorse. Why not show a little pity?
まったくあなたがこの学園に来たからというもの、ますますイリスさんの口が悪くなってきているような気がするのだけれど。
But is this my fault? Well, I mean, I guess you might have something of a point, but...
この女、加減ってものを知らねえ。だから一人っ子はよ。
Why does Makina talk like this?
イリスさん。
はい、すいません。また勘違いしてました。マキナは悪い子でした。
まあいいわ。風見くんもあまりイリスさんに変な悪影響を与えないように気をつけなさい。
I am trying, you know. I do scold her every once in a while, but...
だからまず叱る人間であるあなたが生活態度を改めなさいとそう言っているつもりなのだけれども。
In other words, lead by example, not just instruction. Impressive insight, Sakaki.
分かっているのならなおのことよ。実践なさい。
ね、なんだよユミちゃん、聞いちゃうの？一緒に遊ぼうぜ。
結構よ。お二人でどうぞ。
Sakaki, you have a second before you go.
何？
Come on, no need for the full power scowl. I just wanted to ask if you could keep quiet to the others about this.
それは構わないけれど、理由ぐらい教えてもらえるんでしょうね。
Until we get this officially sanctioned as a safe extracurricular sport, I don't want to deal with people's prejudice misconceptions. That's the only reason.
スオーさんはすでに何か嗅ぎつけているわよ。
I'm aware. I asked Amane to turn a blind eye for now.
あのね、考えてもごらんなさい。スオーさんが知っているのなら他に誰に隠すというの？学園長も了承済みなのでしょ？となればあとは松島さんと小峰さんよ。あの二人に知られたところで何を困ることがあるというの？
おう、言われてみりゃそうなのよさ。
Right. Even if we told Machiru, she'd probably fire back. Okay, so what? Do whatever you want. I mean, it's not like I'm interested in the slightest, so can you not waste my time telling me? Alright, just die already, why don't you? Or something along those lines, building up such a head of steam that the whole Tsundere train ends up flying off the rails in a burst of verbal violence. And as for Sachi, we'd probably get shooting somehow. The word has a rather loose resonance, does it not? Just what do you plan to be shooting into what? Goodness, my loins are all aflutter. Or something along those lines, leaving all within earshot, reflexively pressing palm to forehead and groaning in anguish. Okay, is there not a single halfway normal person in this darn place?
それは自分も含めての発言でしょうね。
つうか、今さら何言ってんの？
Fair enough. This place really is a den of eccentrics, isn't it? No wonder I fit in.
だいたい秘密にしておくと危険じゃないかしら。赤旗だったの？あれが掲げられている時は立ち入り禁止と全員に徹底しておかないと。安全のためのルールを知らないなんて、それこそ意味のないものでしょ。
What's this? A sensible argument?
こういうこと言ってるとなんかまともな人に見えるから不思議なのよさ。あ、仕方ですか。ですよね。はい、マキナ黙ってます。
とにかく何をやっているのかは秘密にするとしても、赤旗のルールは徹底しておきなさい。私からは以上よ。
I can't deny that it seems we were a little sloppy in our safety procedures. Guess there's nothing for it. Time to break out the ultimate weapon.
最終兵器？何それ？ミサイル？
No, try again.
じゃあ限りなくミサイルに近い何か別のもの？
Why are you so caught up on the missile thing? When it comes to ultimate weapons, nothing's more ultimate than the mass gun.
何それ？
Treating an empty gun as though it were loaded with live ammo, lining up your shots as normal, then yelling, bang, bang, instead of firing.
ああ、つまり状況の人になれってやつな。
That's right, and when you're not actually firing rounds, anything becomes a legitimate target. Image training's pretty good stuff, you know? We could climb up onto the roof of the Eastern School building and aim at the principal. Yeah. Yes. Office.
おお、地図を狙撃すんのか。ちょっと楽しそうなのよさ。
Hey, since we're not actually firing, we could even go for an even longer distance shot. Like, let's see, sniping the principal's office from that high spot on the beach, maybe? Yeah, I guess that might be pushing it. When you get over 1,200 meters, 7.62 millimeters isn't really going to cut it.
じゃあさ、とりあえずあれ撃つ練習してみるってのは？
What thing? Makina's stubby finger indicates a twin-tailed bottle blonde apparently strolling back from the convenience store, obliviously sucking away at a half-unwrapped ice cream bar. Not a bad idea. Alright, Makina, camel on, then get in position to fire. Distance to target 70 meters. Wind from right to left, up 3, right 2. Target movement speed estimated 4 kilometers per hour. Adjust your windage 2 millimeters further to the right.
捉えたのよさ。
Don't aim for the head. Smack it right into that meager little chest. Got it? Got that?
射撃用意よーし。
Fire! Having successfully eliminated the menace of a pseudo-tsundere invasion, we proceed to mess around pulling imaginary holes in various targets through precision mouth-gun sniping. Well, let's see this last scene with the money.
あんた晩ご飯食べ終わったならさっさとお風呂入っちゃいな。私も後からすぐに行くから先に行ってなさいな。
日焼けした。顔面と肩がめっさ痛いのよ。
いや 焼け止めもしないで一日中外で遊んでるからでしょうが。
だって日焼け止めしても汗ですぐ流れちゃうんだものよ。
楽しかった？
ゴースター楽しかった。
ゴッサか、そりゃかなり楽しかったみたいね。何して遊んだの？
うわっぶね、誘導尋問に引っかかるところだったのよさ。イリスマキナ、美浜学園所属、学籍番号4番、1月13日生まれ。
何？どうしたの急に？
敵の捕虜になったら名前と認識番号と生まれた日しか教えちゃいけないんだってパパが言ってた。
捕虜って別に拷問してまで聞き出そうとは思ってないわよ。いいからお風呂入ってきなさい。
了解。
まったく。
あといけねえ、アヒル持ってくの忘れるとこだったのよさ。
ああ、もうアヒルはいいけど他にはおもちゃを持ってっちゃダメよ。元気なのはいいんだけどさ、さてと、それじゃあ早速マキナの日記でもっと。あれ、あの子日記帳どこにしまったのよ。さっき書いてたんだからそんなに奥にはしまい込んでないわよね。やだもん、またこんなところに脱ぎ散らかした靴下しまい込んで。一度履いたらちゃんと洗濯に出せっての。もうつーか日記帳はどこよもう。お、あったあった、これこれ。なに本日の日付はと、あったあった、どれどれ。今日はパパと一緒にプリンキングごっこをして遊んだ。ゲロッサたゲロッサ、まあきっとメッサの最上級のことなんだろうけど、それより何これ、これがプリンキング？私がプリンの王様、プリンキングじゃーってもうなんでこれモギタンの次はプリンキングっていうか、なんだかもうほんと全然意味がわかんない。あの子は一体ユージと一緒に何してんだろう。
Triton and Pern King were the best of friends. They spent many carefree days playing together in a deep, dark forest rumored to be haunted by goblins. One day, Tuna Fish Man abruptly appeared before them, while vigorously disemboweling himself with a gleaming knife. He spoke thus. It seems Amane was tormented by this remarkably surreal dream, ultimately leading to her roommates. To no one in particular. A sad tale, although I fail to see why she complained to me the next morning. She has no idea what's going on at all. Bye.